Hello. I just got to Hilo on the big island of Hawaii, and my first order of business was to get lunch because I'm starving, or I was starving, and I'm not anymore, because I just ate at the Sweet King Cafe, which is actually a vegan restaurant. I didn't realize that when I went in, but I had a jalapeno ulu burger. Ulu is, the woman described it as a breadfruit that they form into a patty. It was delicious. Loved it. And then on the side was this green thing called tabbouleh. Wasn't as big a fan of that. It had kind of a minty taste. It wasn't my thing. Other people might enjoy it, but I wasn't a big fan. But the burger was amazing. Definitely recommend, especially if you're vegan, Sweet King Cafe in Hilo. See a little bit of a rainbow there at Rainbow Falls. Probably better at other times of the day. I actually think these trees are cooler than the waterfall. Look at them. Good morning. Today I'm at my 47th national park. I think it's 47. Kind of lost track. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. So looking forward to this one. It's supposed to be really amazing with all the craters and everything. So. Wow, that is amazing. So right now I'm on the Crater Rim Trail. And I'm going to take this to the Kilauea Trail. So it's supposed to be one big 8-mile loop that encompasses a whole bunch of cool things. So. Standing in the middle of a crater. How awesome is that? Let's go. Heading into the Thurston lava tube. Has nothing to do with Gilligan's Island. This is the lava tube. A lava tube is created when the surface of a lava flow hardens into a crust, but the underside of it keeps flowing, creates this hollow tube. I've been in lava tubes before, but this is by far the biggest one I've ever seen. Usually with lava tubes, you gotta crawl through them or duck down. This one you just walked right through like it was like a cave. It had to be at least 1,000 feet long. It's pretty amazing. It's the crater I was just hiking. Okay, so this big area right here is called Kilauea Caldera. And then that crater in the middle right there, where all the steam is coming up, that crater is called Halemaumau. Really enjoyed that trail. Saw so many things, the lava tube, the walking across the crater, and then seeing both craters from above. Really enjoyed it, highly recommend it. It's about 7 miles total. It's definitely worth it. They look like crunch berries. This is the devastation area. This area was devastated by an eruption in 1959, which coincidentally is the year that Hawaii became a state. Lulumanu crater, one of the smaller craters here.
Look, Chris, you can see where
Puimahu crater
is going to fall in very soon. Yes. And eventually all this will fall in, and then they'll need to move.
There's signs like this all over the place too, showing lava flows from different eruptions. This one's from May of 1973. What I'm on right now is called Chain of Craters Road. So what it has is all these craters that were formed over the years. Some are older than others. This one looks fairly old because it's got all these trees growing in it. There's other ones that are much younger. How high crater? Something like that? It's a pretty big one. It's a nene. coming after me. This is a devastated area for the Mauna Ulu eruption. Toadstools. That is amazing. You can see the lava float into the ocean. Look at that formed. Pretty amazing. Took an hour drive to Akaka Falls State Park, which closes at 5, and I got here at 4:30. I better be quick about it, but it's only like a half-mile loop to see 2 waterfalls. I'm not too worried. Palm leaves are gigantic. That one on the bottom has to be at least 10 feet long. Now that is an awesome waterfall. How high that is. Barely see the bottom of it. Sign said Akaka Falls is 442 feet high, which is twice the height of Niagara Falls. Obviously it's not as wide as Niagara Falls, but twice the height. I thought it was a pretty impressive waterfall. The other waterfall at this state park is Kahuna Falls, but there's a lookout for it, but you can barely see it. It's mostly obscured, so I didn't bother videoing it. You can see that on the mainland. Plants are like Jurassic Park, just huge. Good morning. I am again today in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. This time I'm going to take on the west side of the park. Yesterday I did the east side of the park. There's a couple of steam vents here. Here's one. And here's another one. There is steam coming up just everywhere around here. But this is the best scene right here. Steam just coming up out of holes in the ground like this. This crater collapsed 1,500 feet in 2018. The ranger said this lava right here is less than a year old, this land down there in the crater. That is Mauna Loa, which is an active volcano. It's called a shield volcano because it's the shape of, like, if you took a warrior's shield and laid it on the ground, that's the shape it is. It's a crater from another angle. So it turns out the west side of the park does not have a whole lot on it, just the steam vents and the crater overlook. The crater overlook was amazing, and I was sitting there talking to the ranger for about 15-20 minutes. He told me so many interesting things about the park. The last eruption was in 2018, so I wish I was here then, but unfortunately I'm here now. Really enjoyed Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. Very cool park. Definitely worth seeing if you're on the Big Island. You could probably see it all in one day. I wouldn't take 2 days like I did. I think you can see it all in one day. Driving up Mauna Loa Road, it looks otherworldly with all these burned out trees. This place was devastated by wildfire a few years ago. Took Mauna Loa Road all the way up, and there's a trail that goes to the summit, but it's very long, so I don't think I'm going to do it. But the view from up here is pretty good. You can see the steam coming up. There's an old lava flow that went across the road here. Obviously they rebuilt the road. This is Mauna Loa Road still. It goes all the way down there. Black Sand Beach. And the water looks black. That's what you get when you're near volcanoes. You get black sand. This is the shuttle to the green sand beach. Basically standing up in the back of a pickup truck. Here's the green sand. It's more golden green to me, but it's got a greenish hue. It's a great spot though. Here's the sketchy truck we came up in. Real green sand.
Feel the sand.
It's actually green. That's so awesome. That marker back there marks the southernmost point in the United States. I'm actually south of it, so I'm in the southernmost point in the United States. Actually, that right there is a little more south of me, but I'm not going to stand on that and get swept away by waves, so I'm the most southern person in the US right now. Woohoo! That was awesome. That trip to the green sand beach was exhilarating. The woman who drove the truck said it was a 3-mile trip each way, and I was thinking we were just going to be going on a road, but we did this heavy duty off-roading. We're standing in the back of a pickup truck. There was 10 of us standing in the back of the pickup truck, and she was driving, and we were going over some major rocks and bumps and stuff. I thought we were going to tip over a couple of times, but it was quite an adventure. And we got to the beach, and it was greenish sand. It looked more golden green, and that was a beautiful cove there too. But then on the way back, she stopped and said, here's the real green sand that looks even greener. It was in a much smaller area, but that sand was very green. The video didn't really capture how green it was, but it was green sand. It was really cool. She said it was because of the algae. Really enjoyed that trip. It was exhilarating. If you are in the Big Island of Hawaii, I would definitely recommend going to the green sand beach. This is the view from my Airbnb. Pretty spectacular. And there's a dog next door, apparently. Didn't hear him all night, though. That's good. Good morning. Standing on the deck of my Airbnb. Very nice view. So last night for dinner, I stopped at a local kind of dive bar. Just had a burger and a beer, but they had the NFL playoffs on, so I got to watch the Detroit Los Angeles Rams game. So that was good. Worried I wasn't going to be able to see any football while I was here. And today I'm going to drive around, stop at a couple beaches, see what there is to see around this island. Kind of a winging it day. We'll see what happens. People snorkeling. This is actually one of the most important religious sites in all of Hawaii. This structure actually used to have several houses on top of it that housed ceremonial religious objects. So this was like a platform, and then there was houses on top of it. And here's where they play grasketball. Ha 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 ha! Gonna go for a swim here. Beautiful. Water's so beautiful, and it's so warm, and it's so green and blue. I love it. Possibly the best beach I've ever been on. Even though small, it's just so amazing, and the water is so beautiful and perfect temperature. Well, today I had a big snorkeling trip planned, but as you can see, the weather is horrible. So that has been canceled. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to be doing all day today. This is a short but steep trail down to the black sand beach down there, which apparently doesn't have any sand in the winter, but it should be fun. But that is spectacular. This is the lake where the water comes in from the ocean. The one at the top says there's no sand in the winter. Sand to me, black sand. These mounds are ancient Hawaiian burial sites. That's why they leave ropes here so you can't go on, because they're sacred sites. Like start at the top of that, and then you snake your way down. Way back up, it was a bit rough, steep and not a lot of shade, but it was short, 0.4 of a mile. But this is probably one of the highlights of the Big Island, this view here, and then going down to that beach, spectacular. I would definitely make this a priority if you're coming to the Big Island. I really enjoyed my time on the Big Island of Hawaii. I went there to see the national park, and I was surprised to find there were so many more things to see as well. So I'm really looking forward to going back there so I can take more of it in, because I really think I just scratched the surface. But it was a great trip. Now on to the next adventure.